Hey guys, it's Gabriel. So I'm here to talk to you guys about my third day at EPIK orientation. For day 3, we went to Gyeongbokgung Palace and we went to Hongdae. Gyeongbokgung Palace was actually really cool. For me, it was definitely a great experience because I had just seen a movie with Sunny called Sado. I guess translated it's called The Throne. Basically, it was a movie set in the olden times, palace times, kings and stuff, and it was about a son who... I forgot what he did. He did something that was seen as like dishonorable to his family. So his father ended up having to punish him and the punishment resulted in his death. It was a true story, but it was really cool because I got to see like what palaces were like and the traditions and the culture behind the history of Korea. And going to Gyeongbokgung Palace was actually really cool because the palace looked so similar to Sado. And so I was like, this is amazing. And it's huge. It's huge. I'm mostly hanging out with Alvina, Jonathan, Patrick, and Victoria. I think I was thinking like the whole orientation group would kind of get like a tour, but they literally dropped us off and they were like, okay, you have like 2 hours or something like that. So we all just sort of scattered around and did our own things, and there was people dressed in Korean traditional clothes. These looked a little bit different, but kind of similar in the same way. So maybe they were just different styled hanboks, but they were walking around the palace, and so they were sort of like the props of the palace area. And like I said, like it's huge, and so you can see all of the sand and the dirt, not really sand, but just like sand colored dirt just kind of all around, and the stone tiles that sort of lead up to the palace, and you can walk up the palace steps and you can see inside of the palace home area. I don't know if people were actually allowed to walk in. I didn't walk in. I took a picture with one of the class coordinators, Kathy, and after taking the picture she actually explained the history of the Gyeongbokgung Palace. She told me some interesting things, like the top of the palace kind of comes in like that, like that's how the house sort of looks, the palace, and so on the edges you can see like these little statues, and depending on the number of the statues determines the spiritual shield against demonic things sort of coming in. I guess the more statues you see, the more protection that area has, and also it represents the hierarchy of who actually lives within those quarters. I could be totally wrong, but this is all based on memory. I believe that's what she told me. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. She also said that the ground, when we touch the ground, we can clearly hear noise. And that was done on purpose because if there was ever an attempt of assassination on the king, the area is so big that you have to kind of walk across a lot of it. And so to walk quietly, it's very difficult. That's why they had noisy sand in that area. So you could just really tell that the way that the palace is set up and all of these little intricate things, like a lot of them have purposes and things that you wouldn't normally think about. So it was nice for her to be there to explain those things to all of the people that might have questions. Yeah, so we just kind of ventured around. There were several other areas, but they all had like just the big area and the big palace, and so many of them looked very similar. Victoria kind of had like a couple of moments with the people in the hanboks, and she got like videos and pictures with them, which was really cool. And then we went off to the left and there was like a live band that was playing. I think they were just practicing. And then when you go even further to the left, you can see another palace that's surrounded by, not surrounded, but there was water next to it, and that was actually very pretty. The time that we had, it was plenty of time to sort of venture and look around everything and take pictures with your friends and do all those things that you want to do. So we were just kind of chilling after the initial like, oh wow, it's, you know, it's so big. But no, we had a really good time, and to be honest, it was one of the highlights of the trip. I mean, everything that we got to do throughout EPIK orientation was all great and fun and everything, but seeing the palace, that's where it brought a lot of cultural history to us as EPIK teachers, and so I thought that was really cool. And especially for me, I mean, being half Korean, like it's like, oh, this is like some of my heritage, so it's interesting. At this point at orientation, they also assign people to different levels of Korean class. You can sign up for 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced Korean. Beginner Korean is just about teaching the alphabet. Intermediate Korean is about teaching the number systems, and and advanced, I think, was conversational. We ended up learning a song by Busker Busker. It was a song that I love, but what's so crazy about it is that she had the lyrics written out on the board, and although I was reading it, I didn't put two and two together until she started playing the song, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, I love Busker Busker. Yeah, so Korean class, it was very fun, and it was cool, and it was nice to sort of get like a brush up on the alphabet and everything. Our assignment was have a conversation when we order something. So something 주세요, which means please, can I have, or please give me blah blah blah. And then, you know, you say thank you, 감사합니다, and then you have them sign. I think we needed a couple of signatures proving that we had spoken to someone in Korean. So we had dinner, we did our assignment, turned those in, and then we were free to go hang out the rest of the night. On this particular night, Victoria wanted to go visit her friend Yongsoo, and her friend was in the area of Hongdae because her husband has one of those Mango 6 stores, sort of like a cafe place where you can get smoothies and bobas and like little dessert cakes and stuff, and it was great. I absolutely loved it. I've never been to a Mango 6 before, and that was my first experience. I really liked it. We had honey bread. That was my first time having honey bread. I was like, this food is so good. It was also just really nice to see Victoria see an old friend of hers and to have that connection with somebody, because, you know, we're all pretty lonely here in Korea, being away from our friends and our families, and seeing Victoria have a really close relationship with someone that almost felt like family. It was really nice to see. Patrick knows full Korean, so he was speaking to Yongsoo in Korean, and Victoria was like, speak English! She knew that they were talking about her and stuff, and, you know, obviously saying good things. But yeah, no, we had a great time, a lot of laughing, and then we just sort of ventured out into the Hongdae city area. Hongdae is known for its urban nightlife. There's a lot of young people there. There's a lot of things to do. Noraebang, which is like karaoke. You can go to cafes and have food, street food. It's a great place to go if you want to experience that nightlife. Yeah, it's just really nice. A lot of people, very crowded, so make sure your energies are like up to here. It was funny because Victoria and her friend Yongsoo were doing a selfie video, and they were like spinning in circles in like a middle of an intersection, and like I said, it's very crowded, so there's a lot of people walking around them, and me and Patrick were just standing out to the side watching them, and Patrick kept saying, he was like yelling out in Korean, oh, so embarrassing, and it made Victoria's friend laugh. It was hilarious. So after that, because of the night before at Han River and the curfew, we were very cautious about time, so we made sure that we got back in time. So Yongsoo was very sweet to me and Patrick, and you could tell it was good for her to see Victoria again, and we also met Yongsoo's husband, who was really nice too. And so that endeth our third day. As I've been saying, there's more stories coming up about my EPIK orientation. If you're interested, stay tuned. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely be sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Zuff678. Be yourself, love yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye. Going to a place called Han River. There's a bridge, I forgot the name of the bridge. It was something ironic, I think. It's called like the Bridge of Life or something. This sounds like kind of spooky, but it like attracts suicides. And then I also heard that there's actually a lot of Korean dramas filmed there, so those might be like the scenes where someone